I haven't worn this hat in a while.
I haven't worn a hat in a while.
Well,
we're live.
Welcome back to Nerdogram, I'm JD.
And I'm Jimmy.
And tonight we are talking about Comicsgate.
What the hell is Comicsgate?
It's apparently we have our own scandal. I had to do some reading on it to figure out exactly what the hell was going on because I hadn't heard of it. I ran across it in an Instagram post.
Apparently they've been keeping everything under wraps and, trying to distract the public from knowing about Comicsgate. It's so scandalous.
So incredibly scandalous.
Mm-hmm.
And really, if you want to put a definition on the meat of this whole scandal, it's bullshit. It's a pissed off ex-boyfriend of somebody who happened to work at a comic publisher.
Oh.
That's when it all boils down. That was the root cause of it all. But what you're getting is the creator's version of the alt-right or the fan version of the alt-right is still very convoluted, and I still can't figure it out completely. But in essence, it's a whole bunch of bullshit about nothing.
Anna wants a link as to what this is about.
I had to do a lot of searching on it to find out, but if you search for the hashtag on Instagram, you're going to come across a lot of posts. But none of them are defining whatsoever. So, yeah, I had
feel
to do
about
a
as
lot of
comfortable
searching.
with this subject as I did about the 2016 election. I don't feel comfortable with that at all.
What you get is New 52 Alan Scott.
Oh, yeah, Alan Scott.
Yeah. Oh, no, you can't, blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
it's a multiverse.
Well, it's a multiverse. I mean, I guess if it's a different Alan Scott, that's fine. But, to change an established character's sexual orientation just because you want to, why not just make another character?
Well, essentially, that's what they did. I mean, it's a multiverse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it if it's like an alternate universe, Alan Scott. But if it's the same Alan Scott we've been reading about for years, then yeah, I'm not cool with that.
And it's not.
Okay. Because, Ultimate Universe Colossus was gay.
Yeah.
Regular Universe Colossus is not. But he's still not married. Because Kitty Pryde bitched out. Fucking phased through the ring and ran off.
Okay, and real quick, I'm going to touch on...
I know, right?
Damn.
But then Rogue and Gambit got married.
Still trying to work out coitus.
I don't know how they're going to consummate the thing. I mean,
Dedication.
Dedication.
And speed.
Gotta be fast. Otherwise, you might drain them too much.
Drain the wrong thing?
Drain the wrong thing.
Stole my powers, my life force, everything. Still blue.
I don't think he'd get to the mountaintop on that one, man.
Speaking of, real quick, let's touch
on
on.
his birthday? They can do it quick.
I don't know, man.
Sorry, Rez, go ahead.
Batman Damned.
I heard it was.
There's a penis in it.
There's a penis in it. Yeah.
Yep.
There is a penis.
The Bat Dong.
The Bat Dog.
The Bruce Wayne.
The Bruce Wayne.
I love it.
For those of you who are deeply upset at the fact that there is a penis in this book, fret not.
Don't worry, there'll be vagina in the next issue.
Apparently not. The next, all the next printings, they're going to, I think, black that part out.
Wow. Really should have grabbed that one then. Not the dick.
We both got excited about having the one with the dick in it. If there's not
It's the Bat Dong. It's the Bruce Wayne.
Yes, it is circumcised.
The Bruce Wayne.
She said if not, it's the Caped Crusader. But it was a circumcised dick.
Yes, subsequent printings will not have the Wang
Because people had so much problem with it, I guess.
Yes, and if you are trying to get your hands on a copy of the Bruce Wayne, I wish you the best of luck because everybody in the Houston area is sold out.
Damn. I should have grabbed one. I should have grabbed a copy because I
should have grabbed the variant because
the variant was wow. Huh. I picked it up and I was like, maybe it's an oversized issue. I don't have a box that's gonna fit in.
Yeah, it is ridiculously sized issue.
Yeah.
So is the Wang.
You guys didn't catch it, did you? So I don't have a box that can fit this in.
It's a dick in a box.
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah. The art in that was amazing, though. All dicks aside.
I did like the
All dicks
artwork.
aside.
The artwork. There was only
The art
one
was
dick.
Fucking amazing.
And I guess everybody wanted to put it aside.
They do always lean.
To the left or the right?
It was always to the right.
Always to the right.
To his right.
To his right.
Reader's left.
Reader's left.
Yeah.
See?
I mean, he was walking, so it may have just been the angle of the dangle.
Yeah.
Or the swing of the ding.
Yep.
Are we explicit yet?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I figured, why bother? We're about to be changing formats anyway.
Okay.
So there you have it. I think we told everybody that last week. We are going to Twitch eventually.
Yes.
We'll get there.
We do have a Twitch account. I don't think there's anything on it at the moment. And I'm trying to figure out how to link our studio software with Twitch.
Is this the one you haven't seen? No, you've seen this.
No, the only thing I haven't seen is Sarah Connor.
Oh, okay. Somebody hadn't seen this one. So we're watching Austin. We're watching Terminator Salvation tonight.
Terminator 4, for those keeping track.
Yeah, it's the fourth one. No real Arnie in this one, but there is a CG Arnie.
Yeah.
So I think this is the one that got.
There's an Avatar guy in it, though.
There is an Avatar guy in it. And I think Christian Bale got in trouble on the set of this one for yelling at a worker, saying that
he did.
Batman, and I guess he got pissed off about his coffee or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's too cold. It's too hot. I can't drink it.
He needs more blankets.
So, the real meat of Comicsgate is bullshit. People upset. Oh, this new version of Bobby Drake is gay, or oh, they changed this character's race, or this or that, and it's all alt-right bullshit. Really.
The only argument I have about Bobby Drake being gay was the Bobby Drake that they were addressing in that was the past Bobby Drake.
Yeah.
And when they, I think around the time that they introduced the idea that he was gay, you had the present Bobby Drake and a future version of Bobby Drake around, and both of them were straight.
Yeah.
So it didn't really work out in my mind how past Bobby Drake could be gay, but the future Bobby Drakes could be straight. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't address it properly, and he's pan or bi.
Maybe.
Or maybe he was just in that bit. You know what?
It's just a phase.
It's a fucking comic book. That's what it is. It's a comic book character.
And honestly, when it comes out, all of this Comicsgate scandal, I mean, that's what it is. It's a comic book. Calm down.
I'm not. Writers are going to do what writers are going to do. Publishers are going to do what they do, and it may be to get with the times, and maybe to try to reach certain readers. Bring more people to the publication and buy the product. But ultimately, it is a comic book. I'm not going to get bent out of shape over shit like that. I mean, it may make me scratch my head sometimes, but like, well, how does that fucking work? But
Tanya's over there stretching her ears.
Oh, you having ear problems?
No, go ahead, Jim.
No, what did I say something? Or?
No, she's stretching her ears.
Oh. The bigger gauges. Okay. But yeah,
Tanya's in a little bit of pain.
I mean, I got this one all the way in. Go ahead.
Just making sure I'm not offending anybody.
No.
You want to put some alcohol on it?
Go ahead.
But yeah, I don't care what a publisher does as far as books, as long as it's readable. You know, if they want to tweak the characters a little bit to try and cater to a certain audience, I mean, that's their character. They can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, they own
I mean, I may or may not buy the book because I may lose interest, or I may not, or hell, I may go out and buy the book because it's a landmark issue. Who knows? It's just, you know, I don't think it's something to get all crazy and bent out of shape over and start screaming and yelling at other people because you don't like what's going on. You know, somebody else might like it. Somebody else might be cool with it. So, and
we've said it on the show, I don't know how many times. It doesn't matter what you're into. There's a comic book out there for you.
Right. I mean, that's
it may not come from the big two. Chances are it won't come from the big two, but independents now are so strong in publishing. Yeah, trust me, they're going to be at your local comic book shop.
There's a lot more out there than just capes and powers. I mean, you've got some serious books that address some interesting issues, some very serious issues, and sometimes we both know people that read comic books for different reasons. I got a friend that reads comic books because, you know, he likes to find the gore. You know, he's really into like hardcore, bloody, gory stories, and there are books out there for him. Some of them can't be put on the shelves, but hey, what can you do?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, there's all manner of things out there, and I don't think people should get offended because, you know, honestly, it's freedom of the press. It's another amendment that is given to us as a right. You know, it's a civil liberty for us to be able to read, as well as a publisher to be able to publish such a book.
Yeah.
So the content, hopefully the publisher will police themselves to the point where, you know, they can keep the book on the shelves, but, you know, ultimately it's their decision. You want to get bent out of shape and get riled up over that, then I you know,
maybe you're reading the wrong thing.
It's a fine line, though. I mean, protesting something is a fine line. Because there's a point where it's a protest, and then there's a point where you're going the other direction, you're going over the line, and then you're just as bad as the thing that you're protesting against.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
If you're causing people to lose their jobs or their careers over, you know, menial bullshit, really, when you boil it down, that may be ages old, and we've covered topics on that before as well. You know, that's it's almost criminal in a way, because you can't just go around and say whatever you want to affect other people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, it is one thing for somebody to be tried in a court of law and be found guilty of something, but it's another for, you know, social.
No.
Social. I don't want to say social justice, but, you know, social issues to be put out there by somebody saying, hey, you know, if there was anything legitimate about it, it'd be investigated and somebody would be held accountable for it.
Yeah.
But for the public at large to go out and shun somebody, and, you know, it's almost like the Salem witch trials. You know, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, burn them at the stake, hang them, tar and feather them, put a scarlet letter on their chest.
He just showed up, wants to know what he missed.
We were talking about Comicsgate.
So what can we go into the specifics of what exactly happened, or is this like kind of
it's
touchy?
It's fuzzy.
It's fuzzy.
Yeah, because
it's not prickly.
No, fuzzy.
It's fuzzy.
Because it's one of those.
Is it like you might want to hug it fuzzy, or is it?
No, it's more of a wait a minute. None of this is really making any sense.
Oh, it's I can't see it very well fuzzy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and like I said, if you go on Instagram, man, you'll find it all over the place. Like, search the hashtag Comicsgate, and it's everywhere. But finding an actual definition of who, what, and why, it's murky at best.
So people are getting bent out of shape because of various publishers making changes to characters that are below.
That's one of the things that I found that they're bitching about. And then, the independents, Image and Dark Horse, it's too much blood, too much gore. Well, that's what they're there for. I mean, that's their milieu.
And most publications that do comics like that usually have a disclaimer on the cover.
Yeah.
They usually say, hey, this has got some mature content in it. You might want to think twice before letting your kid read it. Yeah. Or if you're not into the blood and gore, it helps you steer clear of those books, and going after the independents because of, no, I'm sorry. They got a lot to compete with.
Yeah, they do.
And, if it's blood and gore that gets the readers in the store to buy the books, I mean, that's what they're going to do.
Jose says, so I read the chat and Kendall's talking about circumcised crusader and you're talking about a witch hunt. And I'm like, I like where this is going. So the circumcised crusader comment from earlier was
we're talking about Batman Damned, book 1 from DC Black Label.
Yeah, you if you did pick up a first print copy of this,
you have an image of the Bruce Wayne.
The Bruce Wayne as
the Bat Doll.
I think that'll always be my favorite though, regardless of how many we come up with. I think Bat Wang is
Bat Wang.
Bruce Wayne.
The Bruce Wayne.
That's got to be the best one.
And
Anna said, back to the other thing, she said, there's no solid shit yet that I can find, but it's almost identical to Gamergate.
Wow. Yeah, and I didn't read up on Gamergate, but I saw a lot of comparisons between the two. I have no idea what Gamergate is. I'm not that kind of gamer.
I think a lot of it equates to people sitting in a room somewhere thinking about ways they could, make a difference in the world and just
stirring up shit.
No. Just coming up short on ideas and then settling on something that was just really hackneyed and heavy-handed. I mean, that's my theory on it. I mean,
makes sense.
Because if you're just going to go and you could probably rally people behind whatever argument you're bringing up, but at the same time, anybody who has rational thought, at the forefront of their mind is going to look at it and be like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah, and it's like when I started reading about it and like the further I fell into it, the more it was like the rabbit hole. It's just you're not going to get out of it by going through it. It's best to turn around and back up, and because this is going nowhere fast. And the people who are suffering, unfortunately, are the creators.
Yeah.
The publisher's not going to suffer that much because the publisher, especially DC, because DC is owned by Warner Brothers, which is a massive corporation. They're going to make money regardless of whether or not you buy the books.
And they're probably going to scale it back. They're probably going to find a way to censor things a bit more. It's the new Batman book from Black Label. Everybody got pissed off about the Batwang or the Bruce Wayne, and they're already dialing it back. They're saying that the next publication of it, because it's sold out, is going to be Wangless. Yeah. So, that's what goes down. I wish I would have grabbed a copy of that. That thing is probably going to go up in money.
Yeah,
go up in value.
Yes. The Phoebe guys are already going batshit. Phoebe. It's already going up. It's a $6 book, and I haven't checked to see what it's going at, but the price has probably risen drastically.
Yeah. Oh well.
But yeah, it's just next thing on the cross, I guess.
Yeah, everybody wants to crucify something nowadays.
Pretty much. I'm trying to see what Batman Damned's going for, and it won't let me type.
Well.
So
you have seen Salvation here. I know we're trying to keep this going. So you have seen Salvation before. Obviously, you own it. What did you think in relation to the films previous to it? I know you like Genesis. I know Genesis was like your favorite.
Oh yeah, Arnie versus Arnie.
Arnie versus Arnie.
Dude.
And we did watch Terminator 1 last week, so I mean, we completely bypassed 2 and 3 and got to Salvation, and this is kind of a change of pace.
Holy shit.
Yeah. What? Motherfucker, I should have bought like 2 of those. God damn it. And that's just the regular copy. That's the regular cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
God damn.
It's the only cover to get.
No, there was 2.
There was a.
I'm saying it's the one to get.
Oh,
Because it's the one where the guy that did the art on the inside that was amazing, he did that cover.
Yeah.
Well, I think he did the other one too, didn't he?
No.
No? Oh.
Yeah, so if some
But-
other guy did the other cover and the art's got amazing inside, I'd rather have that cover.
Yeah, but the other cover is going to be harder to find
Mhm.
because they have less
Oh, for the
less
silver,
print.
maybe, yeah, you
Yeah.
do that. Okay, so Kindle said in the bat dong is barely visible, just saying. Hashtag thanks Google. Anna quoted some from the Washington Post article about all the business with the Gamergate and the Comicsgate and the whatnots. But I think we can stray from that topic unless y'all want to stay on that. Is that like the show topic?
I mean, that's what we were talking about tonight is
Are we gonna read
Comicsgate.
this?
Oh,
The what?
There's paragraphs. I don't know.
There's paragraphs.
Yeah, there's paragraphs.
Oh shit.
I don't know.
text it to me.
Anna said wings not okay, but violence is. Jose says, I wonder if the same people complaining about the Batwing are the same people that complain Harley is a bad role model.
She is a bad role model.
She is a bad role model. She'll even say she's a bad role
It
model.
really is.
I mean, come on.
Anna said ultra straight dudes that are afraid of other wings was what I thought, to be honest.
I mean, when I put it back on the shelf, I didn't know there was a wang in it. I was just like, man, this is not going to fit my standard comic book box. I really don't know. I've got tons. Well, I don't have tons, but I've got a handful of books that are oversized like that.
Yeah.
And I've got nothing to store them in. I got no bags and boards to put them on. Put them
They
in.
do make bags and boards
I
for
know
them.
they
though.
do, but it's like it breaks away from the fucking standard, and it pisses me off a little bit.
Bear with me.
Wish I would grab the fucking book.
Yeah, I love that the book itself is a little bigger than your average.
Yeah. So apparently, we found a listing for this for $84 online, and
Jose said that's more
Yeah.
expensive that way.
yeah,
And that's just the standard cover. I did find the variant cover for $100.
I saw both for $6.99.
They gone now.
Yeah. Oh well.
And they're already there's people on eBay already pre-selling issue 2.
And I mean, seriously, I would have just turned that around and sold it because I'm not that much of a DC collector. I'd have been like, fuck, all right, well, I'm putting that online. I'll fucking pay the cost and sell it. Whatever fee they're going to charge me.
Which I've already got something I'm flipping at the moment, so.
Mhm.
And then working on a deal for some other stuff. Some even swaps and trades.
Okay.
Fight Club 2 for Fight Club 2.
Yeah.
And then Volume 1 of Jessica Jones for Volume 1 of Jessica Jones.
So you're going to trade in the books for the trade.
Yes, that's my hope.
Okay.
That's my hope. I got to get with my guy.
Yeah.
But it's I've got high hopes. What are you getting?
Snacks.
Michael Ironside.
Yep.
He's still got the Batman voice going on just a little bit.
And
Give it to me.
and Mr. Not Vladimir Putin.
Lana, it's not yours. Where's Lana's spot? No, it's not over here by me.
Yeah, so he has an Osprey fly him out to the middle of the fucking ocean to go diving to get aboard a submarine which has like the leaders of the resistance on it. Skynet's a chick, by the way, in this one. Played by Marla Singer from Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I'm having one of those Gary Oldman moments again.
Is that one bitch always hanging out with Tim Burton
Oh, yeah.
and Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Go lay down.
Thinking.
Go lay down.
Somebody out there is screaming.
Thank you so much for your cooperation, dear. I
Lana.
really appreciate it.
Lana spot.
She's just gonna come bug you.
So what do you say, my spot?
Bro. Where's your fucking duck, bitch? Go.
So
Lana
it's,
spot.
so I know we're getting away from the Comicsgate. You brought that up, but I mean, it's like there's very little to go on.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's very murky and cloudy, but they're calling it a scandal, and I don't find it.
To what degree is it a scandal?
Yeah, I don't find it in the least scandalous. It's just a bunch of people shaking marbles in tin cans.
If you don't like the book, don't buy the book. I mean, there's plenty of comics to choose from. Not all the comics are going to be out there you're going to like.
Yeah,
There's some comics I don't really care for, but I'm not going to go and raise my fist to somebody and say, you better fucking change it.
and it all started over a group of females that works for one of the publishers, and one of them posted a selfie with the whole group and an ex-boyfriend making a shitty comment on it. Like, that's where it all started. And it's just really like, that's what you're gonna base a scandal on? Like, that's shitty foundations.
I'm lost.
The dogs are actually all sitting
It's treat time.
because it shuts them up for a little while.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on in chat right now. 'Cause
Oh, hush.
Tanya was busy.
Uh-oh.
Anna said Helena Bonham Carter.
That
There
one.
you go. Yeah, she plays Skynet in this one.
Jose
See,
said,
picture's still there.
Jose said, I wonder what's better, female AI or male AI? Anna said, as far as I know, the only people calling it a scandal are the people doing the harassing, I guess.
Yes.
She said, that's all I can figure that fits a soundbite. The same group of people probably ran the chick from The Last Jedi off Instagram.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And Jose said, okay, so the issue is not being able to sell comics. Maybe move to a digital way of comics. Anna said, I like female AIs more as villains.
Hey, Helena Bonham Carter's, got a presence on screen. And I sincerely believe that this was a really good role for her. I mean, it was kind of minor. She did play a doctor at the beginning, and
Oh yeah.
she got the guy to sign his body away to science. Unbeknownst to him, he was going to become a Terminator.
A hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid. They basically transplanted his brain into a endoskeleton, and he just got activated, and he's seeing the aftermath of the machine war.
Judgment Day.
Yep. And the Red Clown Toy Company. And this also has a fairly young Anton Yelchin, I believe, playing.
Oh yeah, it does.
He plays Reese.
Yeah, he does. Plays Kyle Reese.
Oh shit, dude, that was not the thing to do. I think that's a T600 is what they refer to it as. Thing with a minigun.
Yeah, it's the one they put rubber skins on.
Yep.
Massive boots.
Yeah, and this was before Anton Yelchin really had a big break. I mean, this was kind of one of his first fairly big roles.
Yeah.
In film. I am gonna miss him as as Chekhov. That was a really good role for him.
I can do that.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, he's actually Russian, so
Go lay down.
he probably, that accent is probably authentic in the way that he actually probably got it from a family member.
Yeah.
So. So I never really got a response from you on this. What do you feel about this movie in relation to the previous three?
You know, I really wanted to dislike it because it was Arnie-less, but it is a great story, and I can't hate it.
The previous scene goes back to our discussion about the dream sequence in the first film.
Ah, yes.
And John Connor still had the picture.
Yep.
So that dream sequence was all it was. It was a dream sequence.
Well, we can't verify that for sure.
The picture was burning. That was a dream sequence.
But it was in the possession of Kyle Reese at a much older age.
I don't think, but it predated Kyle Reese going back in time. It would have to predate Kyle Reese going back in time. Have to.
Yeah.
Because when he goes back in time, he doesn't go back to the future. Okay? It's not that movie.
Jose says female AIs are usually good, but like audio AI, like Tony Stark's Friday feels right, you know?
Oh, and whoa.
He said, I'm not hating on Jarvis, I just like Friday better, and Anna said she agrees.
I'm a Jarvis guy, man.
I am too.
Well, hold on. What about Peter Parker's AI in his suit?
Oh, yes. Oh, what did he name it?
I can't remember.
Like Kathleen or some shit.
Yeah, I liked her. I thought she was pretty awesome.
Karen.
I thought she was really cool.
Basic white bitch.
Yeah, but she was cool, man.
Rebecca?
It was Karen. It was Karen. Actually, the first AI villain in film was from Metropolis.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be, if you wanted to argue that point, that would be the truth. I mean, that was the first representation.
Yeah,
of
you're
AI
talking, what,
villain.
1922, 23?
Silent film era.
Yeah, and I love that movie.
Yeah.
I have it.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful for the time. It's the production value of it was amazing.
It is an incredible movie. Folks, I don't know if you're into silent films or not, but that is like the perfect introduction into silent film.
There's
Because
just so much going on in every frame.
Yes, and silent film isn't always that way.
Well, that was the early days of Hollywood. You didn't have these multi-million-dollar productions. You had what you had,
Yeah.
and whatever you could squeeze together. I mean, it wasn't long after the silent film era. You had like Plan 9 from Outer Space, Ed Wood's and his productions. I mean, he was kind of big in Hollywood, but his productions were really low budget. He just kind of threw together what he could, found what actors he could find.
1927 is a German science fiction film.
Yeah, so that wasn't even Hollywood; that was Germany.
Yeah.
So for them to go that far with it at that time in their history, I mean, that was the end. That was after World War I.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they get the money together to do that? That's what I want to know.
But it is an absolutely incredible film, and like I said, if you've ever had interest into silent film, naturally this is, its copyright is now public domain.
Yeah.
So you can watch it on YouTube for free. However, you're not going to get the original soundtrack, and you're not going to get all of the correct subtitles.
Well, the soundtrack was lost, wasn't it?
No, that was for Nosferatu.
Okay.
It's just a lot of the copies that are on YouTube do not have that original film score. But this is a perfect introduction to silent film because there's very little word cards. There are very few word cards. Everything is expressed physically, and it's very, very deep. And I thought I'd have a hard time relating to it when I watched it, and no, like it brought me to tears. Like it is a great piece of cinema, And like I said, if you're interested in silent films, this is the perfect introductory piece because you're not going to miss anything.
What we're in 10 years, that movie will be 100 years old, roughly.
1927, yeah.
9 years.
Yeah,
9 years. That movie will be 100 years old.
We got chat.
Yeah, Jose said in reference to he guessed Rebecca and it was Karen. He said Samsonite. I was way off. And he said I owe you a drink if you get that reference, which I'll obviously do.
Yeah.
And he said
Dumb and Dumber, baby.
my favorite line in all those silent movies is, "Oh, never mind." And was that robot lady from Metropolis an AI, or did I misunderstand that part?
She is an AI.
She would be an artificial intelligence. I would say the first representation you see of an artificial intelligence. I mean, that was an idea that was way ahead of its time. And who would have thought that we'd almost be on the cusp of that being a reality?
Hold on a second, because I'm going to share something with you I have never actually seen, and I don't even care for this aggregator site, but Rotten Tomatoes. I've ranted about Rotten Tomatoes on the show before, how much I dislike them. But this is the first time I've ever seen a film, just randomly, with 99% approval on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow. So apparently they agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger Ebert, it's 4 out of 4, and IMDb being way off at 8.3 out of 10.
Because it really, I mean, that film really does grab you and make you watch it.
Yes, it does.
It's not like you can just say, oh, well, it's in a lull. No,
there is no lull.
It drags you along throughout the story and kind of makes you go through all the pain and suffering that the characters are going through.
Yes.
So
very, very much so. It was at a time where physical acting had to be at its peak.
Pantomime.
Yes, because you're not hearing anything.
No.
You hear the film score, and this is the perfect marriage of pantomime acting and film score matching what you're seeing on screen to elicit a very, very powerful emotional response. And it is an incredibly powerful movie and a very, very political one.
Yeah. It makes a point, and I think the point is still relevant today.
Yes, very much so.
So,
Is your mic on?
You're crinkling bags over there.
It's never on. I don't use it anymore because you only hear me over the boom anyway.
You just yell it. That's just how Tanya does. Are you watching the levels while you dig into your bag?
Hold on.
It's like 2 little fucking lights.
I'm gonna bring a dog whistle. And next time, I swear, she's eating while producing, I'm gonna blow that little dog whistle and make those levels just spike.
It was all rye chips. Is that what that is? Yeah. Sitting over there digging in a bag of rye chips, fucking with our audio.
But no, I this is actually a great movie. The storyline is great. It doesn't flow very well with the other movies, which is a little odd, but it works very, very well on its own.
And I would say this is the only Terminator film out there that we've seen that takes place pretty much entirely in a post-Judgment Day world.
Yeah.
So that in itself was pretty cool to see. It's like, oh man, we actually get to be in this world for a bit that we've only seen glimpses of in the other films.
Yeah. So
I enjoy that. And lots of really cool action. There's some nods to the previous films. A lot of the boombox that John Connor uses
with the Guns N' Roses.
Yep. That was pretty awesome as well. Take out that bike drone.
Yeah. So yeah, Comicsgate is bullshit. That's all it is.
That concludes our discussion on that topic.
Yeah, a bunch of people with rocks and cans, shake them.
I guess until we get further.
Listen to me. We got chat.
Jose says, speaking of AI, I want to see the Red Queen from Resident Evil movie take on HAL 3000. The creepiness has to be some kind of ASMR fetish.
Sorry, man. It was HAL 9000.
And a little bit of GLaDOS?
GLaDOS from Portal.
Oh, GLaDOS to it. And Anna said GLaDOS is the best. So they said if I see one more female Bowser, I'm going to have the most confused Batwang. Or to bring that full circle, man.
What? You throwing female Bowser in there for?
Apparently
I don't know. Was there a female Bowser?
I have no idea.
I mean,
Maybe
wait.
it's like
Well,
a cosplay thing, or talking about fetish and stuff.
well. I mean, it might be a cosplay thing, but I mean, if you think about it, Mario 3, there had to have been a female Bowser because he had like a bunch of kids, didn't he?
Something like that.
It's like each stage boss was another kid.
Yeah.
One of his kids. Wow. Unless he, procreates asexually, then some things can do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's a turtle.
Is he? Is he?
I'm not sure.
I mean, he's a reptile of some sort.
Snapping turtle?
I don't know.
Yeah. Hence the beak-like kind of angry mouth.
I mean, either that or he just decided to kill a giant turtle and take its shell.
Which is even more fucked up.
Yeah. That would be a Bowser thing to do.
Yeah. No, I haven't really messed with anything Nintendo in quite some time. I did grab a piece of news today because it was Warframe related. It was all over the Warframe Reddit.
Switch getting Warframe? Or?
Switch is getting Warframe for sure. However, Nintendo is now charging for online games. You have to purchase the Nintendo Premium Online package in order to play an online game that you also have to purchase.
So they're pretty much trying to catch up with everybody else.
Yeah, and by killing their players.
Yeah.
Or killing their players in the wallet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how much is the online service? Is it like a standard $50 a year, $60 a year?
I don't know. I didn't look into it. I just saw, hey, a lot of the guys that are waiting for Warframe are pretty pissed off because now they're going to have to buy Warframe, which everybody else gets for free.
Oh, wow. Oh.
And then they have to pay monthly to play a game that they already paid for on internet that they're already paying for. And everybody's getting a little pissed off.
Sorry, I kind of missed that tidbit. I didn't realize they were going to have to buy the game and pay for a subscription. And
yeah.
So I think Jose was talking about the female Bowser thing when he said it's a new art thing someone did and it became a meme and it just spread like wildfire. And he said Super Mario Brothers told me he was a T-Rex about Bowser.
Yeah. I mean, well, the movie.
Okay.
The movie, yeah, because Dennis Hopper did turn into like a T-Rex at the end.
And he said keeps all your saved data 100 a year for Nintendo, so it's like Xbox Live.
That's Xbox Live's 100 a year?
No.
100 a year?
Well, no.
No.
If you buy a year subscription, I think it's right at 100.
I was going to say it is about 100. It's just you don't buy it. I do.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
When you have it. Don't leave me like that.
PlayStation 4, my subscription is only like $50 a year. 50 or 60.
I ain't starting Warframe over.
Yeah, well, should have got PS4 in the first place.
No. Took them too long to get all their network issues figured
I
out.
want to say it's like $10 or $12 or something a month.
Yeah, $10 a month.
Or you get a discount and you get it for like 100 for a year.
Yeah, I'm not going back to Microsoft. Sorry.
I'm not starting Warframe.
I'm not starting over Grand Theft Auto. So.
I have 35 frames. It's funny when I run into people. Dude, you have 35 frames. You've been playing for 3 years, and you're still only an MR10. Yeah, man. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know you had to play other stuff. So, what have you been doing? Been playing the Excalibur this whole time.
Until a couple months ago.
Yeah, now I'm like playing everything, cycling through.
Yeah.
I finished my Chroma.
Oh, yeah.
It's still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And lucky me on the 25th, Chroma Prime.
He's so anxious for that.
Fuck.
Maybe it'll be better.
Man.
Maybe.
They better de-nerf the shit out of that fucker's abilities.
Jose Jose says, why move over? Just keep playing on PC. Not your fault. No games know how to cross-platform except Final Fantasy. That's on all consoles.
Excalibur is on PC, Xbox One, PS4, and coming to Switch.
Excalibur.
The Excalibur frame.
Oh, okay. For Warframe.
Yeah. They were gonna do the cross-platform gaming, to where everybody could play against everybody else. They built all the servers up, their network up to handle it, and then they realized something. All their founders were up in arms bitching. Because there are a lot of stuff that the founders have access to that console players do not.
Right.
And if the cross-platforming went through, then the console players would have access to that. Because you can buy a Warframe account already pre-built and have all the shit you want, and you can buy old founders accounts that have the Excalibur Prime, the gold standard of Warframes. It has all the extreme weapons that were given to the founders, everything. And the PC players really raised a lot of hell about that because
they wanted to keep all their exclusive shit and make sure that they were the only ones that had it.
Yeah. And Warframe is about its players, and nobody else was. None of the console guys were bitching, saying no, we want it because we want that founders pack, we want that founders gun, we want the founders emblem, we want the founder frame. Nobody on that side was bitching, and Warframe is about its players, so they withdrew it.
Jose said, "Oh, suck a Batwing, your grandfather did."
Because Warframe's been going on for 5 years now.
Damn. Yeah.
6 years. It's been going for 6 years now.
See? Big truck.
Yep. Okay, you're right.
That's a tanker. Well, no, that he's driving the trailer into the... Okay, but that is a semi. See? Three axles. Ha.
Yep. All right. So every Terminator has driven a semi.
Yep. See, it doesn't work like in the movies.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't just blow up, dude. I like that. Did you see his Yosemite Sam mud flaps?
Yeah. Love the sound of that turbo, though. Wow, that bitch a supercharger. Bitches love to whine. That Terminator is going to be pissed. Scratched his paint up and shit.
Yeah, I don't think it's down, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Still got this motorcycles to deal with. Yeah, it's still going.
It's made of metal, not of wood. It's not going to burn. So, yeah. Talking about stuff and whatnot and what have you.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
What have you.
So,
never mind the crunching, that's just rye chips.
I'll take that.
Glad you're enjoying that.
Jose says, I wonder if some Terminators have a preference. Shades, bandanas, colors, method of killing, or preferred vehicle.
Well, apparently the Guardian Terminator has a preference, and that's leather and shades and a shotgun.
And motorcycles. Or a semi.
Is it motorcycles or motorskickles?
Skickles.
Motorskickles.
Yep.
Terminator 3. He walks into the same fucking bar that he did in 2, but it's a gay bar. No, it's not a gay bar. It's a strip club.
Yeah.
And
it's a ladies' club.
It's a ladies' club. And he tells the stripper, I need your clothes, your shoes, and all that shit. And he fucking talked to the hand. And he fucking grabs the guy's hand and talks to it.
No. And then walking out of the convenience store. Hey man, you gotta pay for that. Talk to the hand.
There was not as much humor.
The sunglasses.
There was not as much humor. I don't think there was any humor in this movie.
He took the stripper's sunglasses out, flipped them over, and put them on.
Little
And it's still stars.
They're like a fucking.
And sparkly.
They look like something Elton John would wear.
And he threw them down on the ground.
Yeah, it was like this isn't going to work for the motif here.
Oh, wash day, right? Nothing clean.
You guys are fucked. The hunter killer.
And then in Genesis, the smile.
Okay, maybe not. They're fucked.
Yeah, this isn't really going their way.
I mean, this does have the suspense, the thrills. You know, oh shit. Where's the guy again?
It's the collector.
Yep.
I don't know, Jose. That's more up to the president than me.
What?
He said, "So, producer, when are we going to start streaming on Twitch?"
He's the one with the answers.
As soon as I figure out how to get our studio software to see Twitch, which I know it will, because I have done it before, but it's been a long time.
She's crinkling bags. I can too.
Yep. It's been a long time since I streamed on Twitch, so it's going to happen in the very, very near future. I just got to remember how again.
He says, "I'm eager to hear music. Take requests."
Take requests.
I mean, should we do music?
I mean, I think Twitch supports that. It's going to be nothing but one song from GNR
Is
on
this sort of
repeat.
like royalty situation? How does that work?
I don't know. It's not like we make any money, so.
I think we're okay as long as we're not making money off it.
Yeah, if you don't actually make anything, then there's nothing to pay.
Tell YouTube
Pay
that
them
shit.
0% of zero.
Hey, we spotted this song in your video. We're either going to take it down or we're going to delete the audio. You fuckers.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't care.
No. No, that's straight up. I'm going to take your shit. What? I'm here. They can hear me.
You need another beer?
Yes, I do. I still got 3 more for this week.
No.
Jose says Twitch also supports half-naked girls that I need to put through college, but I'm sure y'all can play sound clips.
But I used to do all sorts of sound bites and shit
Mm-hmm.
way back in the day.
When YouTube would let you.
No, that was just when we were on Spreaker. When we went to YouTube, I quit doing it all. But Keith used to describe it as a pleasurable ear raping. What's she doing?
I don't know. You said ear raping, and Tiny got this look on her face. And everybody's got their own kink, I guess.
Jose wants to know what's going to come out of Comicsgate.
All in all, probably nothing.
Hopefully nothing. I mean, I think it's going to be a bad day when, you know, well, you already got Disney Marvel kowtowing to somebody because of some shit somebody else said years ago.
Yeah, a decade ago.
Yeah. And now we're going to have to worry about publishers, comic book publishers, getting rid of their characters or changing their characters just to suit the, you know, bitching and whining of a few people. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's going to make the people who regularly buy those titles not want to buy those titles because the characters are going to be changed in a way that they don't really care for. You know, I would say the only people that those publishers should listen to are the people that are buying the books.
Agreed.
And the way they listen to them is by how well the books sell.
Yep.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're making money off the book and people are enjoying it, hey, it's a win-win.
Anna said, hopefully all these Nazi fucks fall on their own keyboards and die in shame.
That's why I like Anna. I admire her candor.
She doesn't pull any punches on that.
And I'm pretty sure she wants to punch the Nazis too.
Nazis. I hate Nazis.
Jose says, when looking for comics, I'm expecting epic heroes, good story, a Batwing, good big old titties, and a nice little community to nerd out with.
Batwang. It's Bruce Wang and the Bat Dong.
Sounds like a night at the nerdery, though.
I was going to say, that's kind of us. But that's why Jose keeps coming back, right?
Yeah.
That's why he likes it here.
It's a glutton for punishment. What can you say? So, yeah. But, we've seen public outrage on comics before that didn't really amount to anything. Early 90s, the ranting and raving against Image. Oh, my God, you can't put that in a comic book. And here we are,
Fuck, you can't.
almost 20 years later, and it's much worse than it was.
I mean, I've seen some comic books out there that are pretty fucking graphic.
Big man plans.
Yeah, jaw dropping. Just kind of like, wow, they just did that.
Got a dwarf running around butt ass nude. They're willing to show it all, and he's beating people to death with a ball peen hammer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a great series.
Well, I mean, it was a revenge story.
Yeah.
I mean, he was trying to get. It was a payback story.
Yeah. And I'm really glad they didn't try to pump more money out of that.
No, it was a 4-issue run.
Yeah.
Really, really small series, and it got to the point, and it kind of told you, it had a beginning, it had an ending, and didn't leave it open for anything else.
No.
By the end of it, the main character had achieved his goal. He got his revenge.
Your heart's broken and happy at the same time.
Yeah.
You're disgusted and elated at the same time. Like
it was what you'd expect from a good book.
Yeah.
It really it pulled you in, and it elicited an emotional reaction that was warranted for the story.
Yeah.
And that's something that it's a really hard formula to get.
It is. And that was
with any piece of literature.
And that was perfect. And to fit it into 4 issues is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Got more chat?
Yeah, Jose says, reasons I watch the nerdery, epic host, good story, a Keith Wang, big old titties, and the lovely sounds of vaping.
You hear that? We're epic.
Hell yeah.
Anna says, to be honest, I'm all for diversity of characters in comics. If someone wants to do a variant and explore how a certain character's arc would be if they were LGBT plus or ethnic background, that's cool. If it sells, it sells. I just don't like the harassment of artists and creatives.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
And those are the people that are going to suffer because of this. It's the creators and artists, because people are going to look at the publisher and say they're going to go to the creator of the character, the artist, or whoever worked on it and caused that change. That these people are so pissed off at, and they're gonna point at them and tell them, oh, you're a horrible person because you did this. You're a horrible person, and what does that do? That's emotionally damaging for an artist.
Added that aliens are included, which basically, from that point, that perspective, that is what happens to them.
Yeah.
Just because you weren't born on the soil across this line right here,
this imaginary line.
Mm-hmm.
It's emotionally damaging.
Now, I will say this, as weird as this book is, I think Azzarello, I think it's a little bit above.
Oh, she's including space aliens. Okay, so like
Superman is an alien.
Yeah, it's an alien, just as much as
he's an illegal immigrant.
Yep.
I think she might be going back to talk that we had earlier today. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody has the right to persecute others. It's not. Regardless of what it is, I mean, we live in a country where everybody's supposed to have their own freedoms and be able to speak their minds. But there is an addendum to that. If you are speaking your mind in such a way that is damaging to others, I think you really need to step back and reevaluate what you're saying, and think about how you would feel if somebody was talking to you that way.
In the words of Snoop Dogg, what have you done for the Lord lately?
Right?
Jose said, I wonder if non-American comic people have these issues. Nana said, I think it's Americans, man. We have problems.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go overseas, some of the books that come out of other countries are they don't really have they don't watch themselves as far as content. They'll publish whatever.
And depending on where it is, I'm sure they have other problems that are part of their political agenda at that time.
Yeah, some that are even more strict.
Art imitates life.
More boiled rice. But I do believe Brian Azzarello might be a little above reprieve at this point in his career. Like, this dude's batting 1,000. 100 Bullets. Dude, incredible book. Best-selling, won quite a few awards. And then he teamed up with the same artist to do Moonshine.
Yeah.
Won quite a few awards when it came out. And it's still going, which I'm way behind on. So to get him on a DC title, number one, DC got Brian Azzarello.
They're like, hey, man, we want you to do a book for us.
Yeah, this guy is known for his very, very provocative writing.
I mean, so people are getting bent out of shape of this so badly that DC wants to change it up.
Yeah, they're gonna take out the wing.
Okay. I mean, one could argue what purpose did the Wang serve in being there in the first place, but I mean, I think that's all up to the artist. And from
it was in the shadows.
Yeah,
Did you see the Wang? It's really not
I didn't get to see it. But from what I've heard out of discussion tonight, it wasn't that prevalent. It wasn't like full frontal, like, hey, here's Bat Dick for you.
Pretty full frontal.
It was.
Look at the photo.
It was just in the shadows.
It's not a photo; it's an artist representation.
I mean, it's pretty close.
Well, the art was so good that it's pretty
photo-esque.
Yeah, it's photo-esque.
Like, I'm not going to put it on the same level as Alex Ross and hyperrealism, but I mean, it's.
I mean, isn't that the same artist that did some Fight Club covers?
No, that would. You're thinking of David
else?
Mack.
Oh, okay. It's really good art, though.
Mm-hmm.
Really, that's it.
That's it.
I mean, I'm a little appalled.
Some Wang.
I'm a little
There's
appalled.
some Wang.
I'm just a little appalled because it almost looks like he's at half mast. So I don't know.
I think he just always looks like that.
Does he have a hard on for crime fighting?
That's exactly what that is.
I mean, that's if
You
that
just can't go full with it because then it starts getting in the way of things.
it's a little sweaty in that suit.
And then
Jose, I want
some
you to
more
hold it up
Wang.
to the camera. Can we do that?
I don't think we can do
No.
I
that.
don't think so.
No, we're doing enough by.
Yeah, Jose
Talking.
says he's a shower, not a grower.
So I mean, it's pretty prevalent, even though it's in the shadows. But hence the DC Black Label.
Yeah.
Black Label insinuates, hey, this is going to be quite a bit darker.
Not for kids.
More than likely, no.
And when I went to Bedrock and I saw these on the shelf, they were not on the bottom shelf. They were on the top shelf, about eye level to me.
Yeah.
So.
And you're no small man.
No, I'm 6'2", so no little, little pint size.
No 7-year-old's going to run in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're not going to get their grubby hands on it. They're going to be like, "Can I have that?" And Dad or Mom's going to be like, "No, let me look through it. Nope, Bat Dick. Sorry, can't have it." I mean, it's not up to the publisher to police the content, really. I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, they have the say so, but whatever they publish, it is up to the reader to decide whether or not they want to buy it. And I would say most reputable comic book shops are going to know what the hell they're selling, and they're going to bag and board shit that is horribly explicit. This is not horribly explicit. I'm sorry. Just because they're showing a piece of anatomy that is part of a human being, I mean, that's not explicit. in my opinion. What would be explicit is if we saw Bat Dick in action, going at Catwoman or whoever, then that would be explicit. Then I could see, okay, this is no longer, within the realm of DC Universe, is not something that they would normally show.
Yeah.
But they didn't go that far. Is it necessary? Probably not.
Definitely not.
But, I mean, like I said, it's the artist's interpretation. They could have shadowed over it.
Easily.
They said ESRB rating for comics, boom, done. Well, technically it said boob done, and then corrected it to boom, which is some kind of Freudian situation, I'm sure.
Boob done?
Yeah, which is actually a pretty good point, because how many comics have tits in them?
Right.
How many comics have
I have
tits?
You know what?
And
Go
nobody
pick up
has-
an issue of Jungle Fantasy and tell me there isn't worse shit
I've
in
seen
there.
detailed vagina in comics. That's not
And nobody
even a big deal.
has a problem with full frontal female nudity
Exactly.
in comics.
It's been a thing for years.
Just
But now we got to take out Bruce Wayne. Jose says, so are we sure it's a Batwing? Could his hand be in the way? Maybe it's a catheter, a 20 left.
no, it's
definitely a
definitely a
penis.
penis.
Anna said, but one little dick slip and everybody's lost their damn mind.
Go pick up any issue of Jungle Fantasy and tell me that what's in there is more acceptable than this.
How many issues of Jungle Fantasy do you have?
I don't have any issues with it, but because when I cruise through all the covers and everything that's coming out, it's in there.
Yeah. No.
So I happened to be in the comic book store and I'd never cracked the cover of one. I didn't know what was in it.
Oh,
The art looks real cheesy, and no, that is straight up porn.
It is somebody's sexual frustration.
Illustrated.
Mm.
And then they write a plot around the interactions.
Yeah, but the difference between that book and this book is it's not a top seller.
It's true.
And I think that also may have been the draw for the argument that this book was selling so well, people had to raise a stink about it.
And it's also a draw for fee payers. Clearly, at $85 for this book.
It's a fucking conspiracy. Somebody brought up the argument so DC would change it and all the first print runs would go for gobs of fucking money. Clearly, this Comicsgate is set up by the people who are reselling the book. That's my theory.
I'm okay with it. Because it means I made an accidental investment.
Yeah. I should have said yes.
And, that's an accidental investment. I didn't get that to
What, the
sell
Superman?
it. Yeah.
No.
I got it because I'm a huge Superman fan. And
And then Stan Lee came to town and
Stanley wrote a Superman. I'm getting it signed.
Yep.
And everybody else we knew was like, oh, man, I bought this special issue of Fantastic Four just for the occasion. Nope. Getting my Superman, my $1 Superman signed. And come to
really-
find out
really
there's like
shitty.
12.
a really shitty copy of the Fantastic Four.
2.4.
I mean, yeah, I spent a little extra money on a book that I wanted signed, and that didn't happen. I don't know.
But I now thinking back, I have a crap ton of signatures and stuff that I had no intention of flipping. It's just, hey, I bought this because I liked it, and hey, that person's in town.
Yeah.
Jose says a poor dick can pass, but a rich dick in daily profit front page news.
That's what it is, man. It's all about the money. DC's made money off of this.
It's all about the Bruces.
People are making money off of this after the fact.
A lot of Thomas and Martha Wayne in here too.
And Bat Dick. That's just crazy.
And Martha calls Thomas Tommy.
Tommy?
Yeah.
That's something you never seen before.
Mm.
Never given him a nickname.
No.
Well, you never really got to see much of
Them interacting
together.
with each other.
Yeah. I mean, you do get to see Thomas Wayne in an alternate universe for a little bit as Batman, but there's no Martha around, really.
More or less.
More or less. See, I don't know if they really went that way because in the Flashpoint books, I don't think there was an explanation as to Martha becoming the Joker. That was only shown, I believe that was only showed in the animated movie.
No, it's in one of the books, and I can't remember which one, but I read it, so I know I have it.
Okay.
I should have. Yeah, because I read it in trade, and I keep all my trades. I don't get rid of trades. Trades are like standing equity. You don't walk away from it.
Yeah, they're at least worth what you paid for them.
Yeah, you don't walk away from trades.
So they says, screw it, have the Hulk drop pants, force these fools to argue about the big green one-eyed monster.
Were you talking about the Hulk?
I think
Yeah, that's
Keith,
what he said, the Hulk.
Oh, okay.
Keith should probably weigh in on this one.
I think he's here right now.
No, probably
I heard
not.
from him.
I mean, actually, I think
I'm gonna text him.
there was a book. There was a comic book involving the Hulk where, and I think I brought this up before, where he actually found someone he could have sex with because she had super strength. I think she was an alien of some sort, probably from like the planet Sakaar in the comic books, Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
And so much that, and they did consummate their relationship. I know this for a fact because a friend of mine came up with a term for it. It's called getting siloed.
All right, I just sent Keith a text. So,
But that book didn't get any flack. So I'm sorry.
come on.
Said I completely forgot about the hullabaloo about Dr. Manhattan's penis whenever the Watchmen film came out, but everybody tripped balls about it. I'm like, y'all seen the comic? Come on now.
Actually, there's no blue penis in the comic,
He wears the underoos all the time.
or it's like blocked. It's Liefeld.
It's cleverly blocked out.
Yeah,
It's Austin Powered.
Austin Powered. I like that better than the Liefeld.
Remember
Liefeld
the
is
nude
deep.
scenes from Austin Powers
Yeah.
where they're always holding or
Something.
something's in the way.
Yeah, which was actually being Wilsoned. Is what that was. So there we go. Get back to the root term. It's Wilsoned.
It's better than being Munson.
But no, I read The Watchmen and was astonished to find, no blue penis in them.
That may have been what Alan Moore's hang-up was about.
You didn't have to put it right there on the screen.
Yeah. I don't think the man likes movies being made from his comics.
I don't either.
They're probably just not the way he wants them made. It's like, that's not the way I would have fucking made it.
Which, honestly, there is one that you can make and, like, not possibly screw up. And that's his first big notable work, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. Because I love that book. That is a milestone book. Do not get me wrong. Do not misunderstand.
Well, that
is a mess of a plot.
Well, that was the what was that? That was the end of the Silver Age.
Yes.
Superman. That was kind of like the landmark issue, saying, "Okay, this is it for Silver Age. We're going to move on, to the modern." So it was kind of the way of DC retconning Superman and kind of creating a more modern version, more relatable to the new audience that was coming in.
Well, they gave the Silver Age Superman a definite end. We have interesting chat.
Well, Silver Age Superman was really kind of hokey, and it was because they were policing themselves, the Comic Code Authority, and
overly. So.
Yeah, they were like, well, man, we really got to work hard not to be offensive, you know, and they were coming up with some crazy fucking stories for that guy.
Lana and Lois became superwomen.
Yeah.
Anna says, I just opened my copy of The Watchmen and there's a bit of blue dome, but you're right though, it's line work.
Yeah. There's not any like full frontal.
No.
Yeah.
Not like in the movie.
What, I'm not affecting you?
No, I wouldn't talk about you. Just thinking about the
Big
why.
blue.
Why? It's like, who the fuck needs that in their life? I mean, I'm not gonna go and fucking bitch
That
anybody
red
out.
witch bitch. her name?
Red Witch.
Who's the bitch that needs it in her life?
Oh, she ultimately decided she didn't need it in her
Oh,
life.
that's true. She just wanted it for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get an opportunity to fuck Dr. Manhattan for a while, you don't want to long-term that, but I could see doing it for a while, just to say you did it.
Like, even if it was like 3 Dr. Manhattans?
I mean, that's the best sex of all. That's what makes it so wonderful.
Yeah, but you ruined yourself for everybody else at the party.
Wow.
Well, apparently she hadn't experienced it at that point.
Oh, wow,
Because
saying things.
Who's saying things?
Anna said lots of ass, so they said all these guns are not strong enough. Anna said there needs to be equal genital representation in comics. Jose says Bruce Wayne is the only one strong enough to handle the heat. Once again, proving he's the best hero out there. And Anna said, like, once, because you'll get cancer and die from Dr. Manhattan.
no, baby. That was exposure. That was exposure.
It's definitely exposure.
No. Well, they disproved that Dr. Manhattan was giving people cancer because Vedette was exposing them to radiation to try and frame Dr. Manhattan.
I don't know, it might have been in the semen. That's why not everybody got it, but...
Well, it'd probably be the safest sex because I don't think his sperm would work.
It's too irradiating.
Yeah, he's probably sterile.
Jose says cancer and great sex or dry season in life.
You decide.
Anna said it's been ages since she's actually sat down and read Watchmen. I'm at 116.
Oh,
Well, if you do read Watchmen again, the best way I've heard to read it is a chapter a day or a night or whatever.
definitely.
That's the best way to do it. Don't try and. I mean, that's how Alan Moore intended it to be read.
Yeah, you gotta stop and think about stuff he wrote.
Yeah. And like the copy I have has a lot of commentary in it as well, which takes just as long to process as the chapter does,
And
if not more.
And if you want to watch The Watchmen, I believe Amazon actually has 3 different versions of it. They have the regular theatrical, the director's cut, and then the super duper deluxe cut, which puts in the newsstand guy, the kid reading the comic, and the comic book itself, the Black Freighter, into the movie. So it cuts all of that in. The Black Freighter was actually released pre-Watchmen as a DVD promo, and it was actually the comic book the kid's reading. So it's kind of used as the transition between chapters. And I really liked it because the Black Freighter was a really good story. It was kind of this creepy, ominous story, and then getting that transition from one chapter to the other with the Black Freighter, the kid reading the book, and then going into the continuation of the Watchmen's journey. So.
Still to this day, my favorite Alan Moore book is Dark Blue.
I think we both need to read Animal Man, the first 4 issues, because originally it was supposed to be a miniseries, and DC said he was doing such a damn good job with it. They were like, "No, we want you to continue." It's like, "No, I only wanted to do 4 books."
Anna says Promethea is like my number 2 Alan Moore favorite.
I really love Dark Blue because the art in it is so gritty.
Yeah,
and it's incredible to do that in straight black and white line work.
And it's a very Matrix type idea.
Yes,
but some would also argue. Anna would probably argue the William Gibson story that's very much like the Matrix. I'm sorry, baby, I don't know the name of the story, but this Dark Blue predates the Matrix, just like William Gibson's book predates the Matrix, and I think it was a better story, just because it had that grittiness, it had that gore, there's a place for that kind of stuff, and that is to show the villainy behind the protagonist.
Yeah,
and really makes you feel that the hero of the book needs to stop them. It is, you feel this overwhelming sense of dread, like, fuck, he did all that shit. Oh my god, and he's still loose to go do more.
Yeah,
that
was a real fucked off book.
Anna said Neuromancer.
Neuromancer.
I gotta read that.
You know what? Jose has his final thought lined up.
Oh, yeah.
She got Jose.
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's Jose's final thought?
Female AI smoking Batwing flavored vape while driving a semi.
Damn, yo. That's a hell of a final thought, man. You summed up everything on the show. That sounds like a good final thought. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Jimmy?
No giant blue wings.
What about the Bruce Wayne?
I mean, the Bruce Wayne was very subtle.
Tasteful.
It was tastefully done. It wasn't like it was in your face kind of thing. It was kind of like you kind of had to look at it to get it. You know, it was like, oh, okay, there it is. It
Yep.
was,
Yeah, it's certainly a penis.
yeah, it's definitely, it's a Bruce Wayne for sure.
Tanya,
Soon
final
to not
thought.
be. Sounds good. We'll take it.
Huge shout out to Captain Jack's Elixirs.
The 322 East Texas Avenue, Baytown, Texas 77520, or go to the website www.captainjackselixir.com. Be sure to follow us on our various social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to check out the website www.captain. We're the nerdery. We're the nerdery.
We're the nerdery.net.
Son of a bitch.
And you will find us soon on Twitch.
Yeah,
as soon as we get all that mumbo jumbo figured out.
And be sure to follow us on social media because that's where I'll be posting when we are going to Twitch.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.